how DICE could actually balance teams in Battlefield 1, or maybe apply those fixes to the next Battlefield game. Guys, before we get into the actual topic, I just want to address one thing real quick, because I've been seeing tons of comments asking about this or accusing me about this lately. Tons of you guys think that if someone big on YouTube uploads a video about certain topic before me, and then I talk about the same thing a day after, or even 20 minutes later I post my video, you think I'm copying the guy. Not only is it incredibly naive to assume that I could even watch their video, make my version of the video, edit it, render it out and upload it in less than 1 hour. But besides this fact, yes, we are going to upload the exact same videos, sometimes on the exact same day, on the similar hours, because we are focused on the same game. And on my channel, I'm trying to provide you with 100% of Battlefield 1 content, meaning all of the news, update, game changes, discussions. I want to be 100% complete. If you subscribe me and, for example, Westy, well, you can watch his videos as well, they're great, but I'm always gonna talk about all of those topics because maybe someone isn't subscribed to other YouTubers and still wants 100% of Battlefield 1 content. And that's for them. I'm sorry for this short disclaimer, guys, but it's just incredibly irritating, especially considering that I put in 4 hours every single day to make those videos and I get such response. But regardless of that, let's get into the actual topic and talk about how DICE could improve Battlefield 1 game balance, or actually team balance. Don't get me wrong, guys. Don't hate me, developers, I know some of you are watching those videos, but from a gamer standpoint, when I see the system that doesn't balance teams properly in 90% of situations, I can say that it sucks. And I suppose that the reason for it is somehow connected with the fact that in previous Battlefield titles, at least here on PC where I'm playing, server admins who owned the server were using additional plugins to balance the teams, and there was a couple of those making sure that teams were somehow balanced. If you've never owned a server in any Battlefield game, and I suppose that's the majority of you, you basically had two tools, and those were called Procon and Aircon, and they allowed you to install plugins to your server to get even more customization or restrict your rules. You could do pretty much whatever you wanted to. The whole problem with this solution wasn't even the fact that different servers were using different plugins or different servers were using plugins with different settings, but the fact that admins couldn't set them up properly, so they didn't work as intended. The result? Sometimes you were getting constantly switched to the other team, and sometimes you were even getting killed by admin to get switched so that you couldn't even play normally. I have no clue how it used to work on consoles in the previous games, because you guys didn't have dedicated servers and you could only play on the official ones, so I assume that the only balancing you had was the one implemented by DICE and using the skill statistic to balance out the teams. Sorry for that noise in the background, but those are the neighbors I have to deal with, so I apologize. Anyway, Battlefield 1 is using the similar balancer to the ones that I assume was used on consoles, and that being the one using skill statistic to determine which players should be put in this team and which ones should be put into the other team. I don't really want to go into the details of what the skill statistic actually is and how it is calculated. It is a topic for another video, so if you want me to record one about it, just let me know down in the comments. But generally, the idea for using this statistic is probably the best one out there, and it really works. But there is one minor problem in this situation. This balancer works at the end of the round. It is about 20 seconds after the round ends, when you are sitting in the scoreboard, looking at your rewards, comparing your statistics to other players, and then, as I said, about 20 seconds after the round ends, the balancer starts working. Now you can probably already spot the problem. The balancer starts working before the guys who intend to leave the server actually do it. And that's the reason why you end up in team with 5 players and the enemy team has 30 of them, because 25 guys from your team decided to leave. I know the question all of you want to ask right now. Why can't this balancer work 20 or 30 seconds later after the new map starts loading? No, it can't, because in Battlefield 1, developers did this little trick when they decided to start loading the new map while you are still in the scoreboard from your previous game, so that they could shorten the loading times. Not many players know this, but this is the actual reason why it takes so long to quit the game after you finish the round. You have to wait for the new map to complete the loading, and then you can actually go back to the main menu. The second problem with the balancer is that it doesn't move players in the middle of the round. And while I agree with DICE saying they don't want to split group of friends playing together, they could just easily move the whole squad. In every single round there is always a squad that isn't full. It has like 2 or even 3 players and it could be easily moved. Of course, then they would have to ensure that they didn't move guys who are playing from the beginning of the match and actually carrying the whole team, because that would suck for them. But they could easily move players that recently joined. It wouldn't be that big of a deal for them if they just scored 2 kills and 500 points in the round, especially if you compare it to the player who was there from the beginning, scored 100 kills and has 20,000 of points. You get the idea. I know it's probably hard to make the balancer that's actually perfect or close to perfect, but I'm certain that it's possible for DICE to figure it out and move the balancer from scoreboard to maybe the loading screen of the map. I've already said it multiple times. You might hate EA, you might hate DICE, but the truth is, they're making moves that no one else makes in the whole gaming industry. So if anyone is to figure it out, it will be them. Anyway guys, that would be it for this video. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to make this video explaining the skill statistic that I previously mentioned. And as always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the battlefield.